Hello and welcome to One of a Kind Reviews. I am Dale.
And I am Paul.
And this is Last Week, number 9.
If you mess with me, you got no chance. No chance in hell, you got no chance.
Alright, so to kick off Raw, we had Dean Ambrose come out, call out Brock Lesnar.
Yep, which didn't go as planned because Stephanie McMahon is not Brock Lesnar.
No, she's like the complete opposite of Brock Lesnar. But we had a fatal 5-way.
Yeah, whatever, like strange. I mean,
Very strange. But fatal 5-way for the Intercontinental Championship to kick off Raw, so that was good.
Yep, it saw Dean Ambrose defend his championship against Kevin Owens, Stardust, Tyler Breeze, and Dolph Ziggler.
2 of those contenders make no sense.
Yeah, absolutely no sense.
Like, Tyler Breeze has won about 3 matches in his entire career in WWE.
Yes,
And
it's not right, but it's a story for another day.
Yeah, so we'll move on from that, apart from mentioning the fact that Kevin Owens won the IC title.
Yep.
Again.
Good to see. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Why not? Why
Yep.
not, basically, yeah.
We also had a match between Big E and Mark Henry, which I believe saw Mark Henry get injured, his ribs.
Well, you would hope so, otherwise that was not a very good finish, guys. You should work on that.
Yeah, well, I've heard rumours that he has, I don't know if it's broken rib, but he has injured his rib in some sort of capacity.
Yeah, well, it did appear that way. So, so that match just ended with Big E kind of dropping him on a big ending, and then...
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't even take what Jericho calls the pillow finish, so...
Yeah,
that's not good.
Well, it's not exactly a pillow finish when you outweigh the guy.
That's true.
By 100 pounds, you know. It's
very good point.
It's very different.
Yep, we had another AJ Styles vs Miz match after that.
Yep.
AJ Styles defeated the Miz, as you would expect.
Not bad chemistry between these
two.
I actually kind of like their little dynamic.
Yeah, they work well together.
And we had a weird booking decision here where Summer Rae, first match in God knows how long.
I can't remember. Not that I try to remember.
No, it's not something that we're keeping note of.
No,
but,
not particularly.
Yeah, so Summer Rae beat Paige.
Yeah, out of all people.
Because why not? So, obviously, I feel Paige has pissed someone off.
Yeah, what did you do, Paige?
I don't know, but don't do it, because then you'll lose to Summer Rae on TV, and that's the last thing you need.
Yep.
The last thing you need.
After that, we had what I like to call the Battle of the Jobbers.
Because that's exactly what it was. It was the Crimson Werewolf taking on Long Island Iced Z himself, Zack Ryder.
Yep, so Heath Slater versus Zack Ryder. Heath Slater got the victory in this one.
Woo.
I'm assuming because of his, the whole social outcast thing.
Social house cats.
Or whatever, same shit.
The social house cats. I like that much better.
I agree.
I love it. Then we moved on to the League of Nations versus the Lucha Dragons and Neville.
Yep, a bit of a weird match to set up. I mean, there doesn't really seem to be any meaning behind it.
Like most matches on Raw.
Yeah.
There was really no meaning for anything this week, to be honest. And that's the go-home week for a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yep, we also saw Becky Lynch taking on Naomi in a singles divas match.
Yep, Becky Lynch won that one. Not much to say about that, so we'll move on. On to what was a monstrosity.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Exactly. So, in the first way, it was Big Show versus Braun Strowman. So, obviously, 2 monstrous people. And second of all, it was the main event segment of Raw.
Why?
That's what we ended the go home to Fastlane with.
Why?
I don't know. I reckon half of the reason, well, they wanted to promote the podcast.
Yeah,
so,
obviously.
Big Show's going to have an interview after this. But also, Big Show had an interview after that. So he had to fucking run to the interview. Which was just, fucking awkward. He was out of breath when he got to the podcast with Stone Cold. So.
Yeah, I thought maybe he needs to work on his cardio a little bit. Maybe the match took a bit out of him. No. Apparently it was him running too.
Yeah, well, I suppose you would have to,
exactly.
Pretty much. But, so that was quite a lackluster Raw, to say the least, though.
Yeah, far from exciting.
Yeah. So then we had SmackDown, kick that off with the League of Nations versus Ziggler and the Lucha Dragons.
So yeah, pretty much a repeat of Raw bar Neville. He was replaced with Ziggler.
Just substitute the face.
And that's literally all it was. Because the League of Nations got the victory in this one too.
I think that's the most, or like the only time that the League of Nations has ever won 2 matches in a week.
I think you might be right.
Or like that, you know, their whole entirety of members haven't lost. Because there's always like one of them jobbing the shit out of the week. Like,
Always. It has to be.
Oh yeah, because why not? Then we had Sasha Banks taking on Tamina. One thing that I kind of need cleared up, this new music that they keep coming out to, is it Tamina's? Is it Naomi's?
I don't know.
Is it Team Bad's? Are they confused?
I can't give you an answer to that.
Because I'm pretty sure last week on SmackDown they came out with this quote-unquote new music, and then on Raw, Naomi came out to her old music. Her horrible, horrible, horrible old music.
And now back to the new one.
Yeah. So I'm not sure
mind.
what's going on there. But yeah, so Sasha Banks defeated Tamina, thank God.
Yep.
And then we had a really awkward, like, Sasha Banks running in to make the save without really making the save.
Really?
Yeah.
Sasha Banks made the save on Sasha Banks.
No, well, it's Becky Lynch, sorry. Sorry, it's just all the same to me now. It's just a big mess of diva.
That doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't, but yeah, see, that's how interested I am in that storyline.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It's very, very plain.
We then had a match between Jericho and The Miz, which, I mean, it was what it was. Saw Jericho get his victory, like you would assume.
Yeah, it's pretty much just Miz just jobbing to AJ and Jericho.
Pretty much.
Just taking turns. Just taking turns on who he jobs to. But then we had Charlotte defeat Natalya.
Yep, and, you know, it was a decent match. I mean, they work well together.
It's alright. Nothing to write home about.
No.
So we won't. We just won't. Then we had Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose defeat the Dudley Boys in the main event of SmackDown.
Yeah, via DQ, but still nonetheless.
Oh, it's a win. A win's a win, Dale.
And, I mean, really all there is to talk about this segment was Brock Lesnar's involvement.
Yeah.
To which he pretty much just interrupted the match. There was a little bit of Dean and Roman, you know, fighting between each other.
I love that he was advertised for SmackDown and then he just did a run-in.
Yeah, that's all he did.
Like, probably 90% of the people that went to SmackDown for Brock.
Yeah, and all he saw was an F5.
Like
and
a
like 2 German suplexes.
Yes, and him dodge a spear, which turned into a shoulder tackle.
Yeah. Not even a shoulder tackle, a shoulder bump.
Yeah, that's essentially what a shoulder tackle is. So.
Yeah, but it didn't have enough force behind it to consider it a tackle.
Yes,
it was very weak looking.
Fair enough. And yeah, that was like the whole week of programming, which was a pretty crappy week, to be honest. And I'm gonna preface this and say that the reason that I don't have a very good like overview of Raw is because the fucking Grammys put Raw on main event for this week, and yeah, I ended up missing the first like hour of Raw and just kind of like skimmed through it. But fuck you, Grammys. Like, seriously.
Fuck the Grammys.
Fuck the Grammys, unless the Usos are going to win the Grammy.
Which they didn't even appear.
No, they didn't even appear. Like, there was an opportunity there.
Exactly.
And you could have had the Usos at the Grammys, had Lillian Garcia there, and like present to Slammy accidentally. You know, there was opportunities. There was opportunities. So, yeah, that was the week of programming. So, on to an overall rating of the week. I feel it's a little bit unfair for us to critique this week, honestly.
I'm going to give it a D, though.
You're going to give it a D.
It wasn't a very good week.
You're giving it the D. Oh, God. Yeah, I'll go with a C minus, because that's pretty much a D. But, whatever. But,
it's not deserving of your D.
No, I'm never going to give the WWE my D. That's a weird thing to do. So on to MVP of the week. Who did you choose, Dale?
I'm gonna have to go with Kevin Owens on this one, just for you know, winning the championship, well, the Intercontinental Championship, that is.
He's a prize fighter with a prize again.
Yay!
Yay! Makes sense. Right. So I'm gonna go with the League of Nations this week, just as a totality, because like I said, I think it's the first time that they've won all of their matches in a week.
Yep, I think you might be right.
And that's history making.
Definitely.
Put them down in the books, man.
As far as jobbers concerned, I'm going to have to go with Paige on this one. I mean, she had a pretty terrible week just from losing to Summer Rae.
That just ruins the whole week.
Yeah, it speaks for itself.
She ruined her week on Monday.
Not a good start.
That's pretty bad. She only had one instance and it was horrible. So I am going to go with The Miz again this week. Because he just seems to be interchanging losses to AJ Styles and Jericho.
Yep, match of the week, that's a pretty easy choice. Fatal 5-way match from Raw.
Which was the first Fatal 5-way, like correct us if we're wrong, it's the first Fatal 5-way that's happened.
I think I would be right.
Or at least I can remember. And there was so many mentions on commentary, like, oh, that's the trouble with these Fatal 5-ways.
What do you mean?
Shut up, Dale's bodily functions. But, yeah, like, you can't say, like, oh, that's the danger of these Fatal 5-ways. Say, like, it's the danger of these multi-man matches or something. Because Fatal 5-ways have never been a thing.
No.
They've never been a thing. So, moving on, the piss break of the week. Probably no argument on this one at all.
No, Big Show versus Braun Strowman. For obvious reasons.
They got the main event segment of Raw.
Yeah, and it's Big Show versus Braun Strowman. It probably would have gotten piss break even if it wasn't the main event of Raw.
Yeah. What a fucking stupid segment. I don't even know why it existed.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't.
Obviously not you. Alright, and yeah, that pretty much sums up the week. It was a very nothing week.
Yeah, I agree.
So, forgive us for the very nothing kind of video. There was not much opinions on anything. But anyway, so that was the whole fucking show. Like, share, subscribe, share our video with a friend, whatever. Leave a comment, and we will see you next time for some more one-of-kind reviews.
Have a nice day.